Welcome students to the second topic of the second lesson, history, kings, farmers and towns. In this class, we will discuss about the first amongst all 16 Mahajanapadas. In the last class, we discussed about the Mahajanapadas. But this class will focus on one Mahajanapada which was most developed, most powerful and most prosperous. आज का ये टॉपिक मैं आपको स्टोरी के दरिया से, स्टोरी का माध्यम से समझाने के लिए कोशिश करूंगा. एंड आई एम श्योर एट द एंड ऑफ द स्टोरी you all will able to understand the entire topic. Between the 6th and 4th century BCE, Magadha, present-day Bihar, that became the most powerful, prosperous and developed Mahajanapada. What was the reason behind this prosperity? What was the reason behind this development or popularity? Modern historians explain this development in variety of ways. Their views as follows. First, Magadha was a region where agriculture especially was productive, which means the soil was so fertile. People are able to cultivate more crops. Second, iron mines, present day Jharkhand. Lot of iron mines. This provides resources for tools and weapons for the Magadhan rulers. And the third, elephant. Lot of forest present in Magadhan region and abundance of elephants. Lot of elephants. These elephants were a part of important component of army. Even we can say that Magadhan rulers used elephant first time in the war. And the fourth is Ganga and its tributaries. Ganga and its tributaries gives a cheap and convenient transportation, communication. They can use this river for communication or transportation from the upstream to the downstream. They can carry many things. However, the writers of Jaina and Buddhism, Buddhist writers as well as Jaina writers, they also wrote about the non-kings, well-known kings, famous kings and their policies. The king and their ministers, together they implemented the good policies. All these led the development of Magadha. The kings like Bindusara, Ajatasattu, Mahapadmananda, Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara and Ashoka ruled over this kingdom. Initially, the capital of Magadha was Rajagaha. It is a Prakrit word which means the house of the king. Rajagaha, present day Bihar, present day Rajgir in Bihar. That was a city surrounded by mountains. Think about a city surrounded by mountains, how much beautiful it was. But soon, 4th century BCE, the rulers of Magadha, they shifted their capital to Patliputra, present day Patna, Patliputra, because they wanted to control the communication along the river Ganga, trade and all the things. They wanted to command on that. That is why they shifted their capital to Patliputra. The growth of Magadha culminated with the emergence of Mauryan Empire. Founder was Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya and his descendants like Bindusara and Ashoka, they extend their territory from Bengal to Afghanistan. In fact, you can say that the entire subcontinent was under the control of Mauryan Empire except southern India. Even Orissa also, they never attacked Orissa because they're neighboring country. But Ashoka annexed that country also, that kingdom also. So maximum area of this continent was under the control of Mauryan administration. हिस्ट्री में कहता है ऐसे दो तीन किंग्स बहुत ग्रेट है करके वी यूज्ड टू कॉल अकबर द ग्रेट, अकबर द ग्रेट, अलेक्जेंडर द ग्रेट, अशोका द ग्रेट, because some greatness they are having. But I wanted to call Chandragupta Maurya also as a great person, great king. और आप अभी सोचेंगे क्यों, कैसे? चलो उसके बारे में हम थोड़ा सा कहानी बता देंगे. And before that, just I wanted to say something. The historians recollect the history of this Mauryan administration and Mauryan dynasty from the archaeological evidences like sculptures, inscriptions, from the books, various books like Sanskrit literature, Jainism as well as Buddhism. Monks they also wrote about this dynasty. Apart that, accounts of various people like travelers and ambassadors, Megasthenes and Chanakyas, Arthashastra. These are an evidences for the historian to recollect the history of Mauryan dynasty. Let me tell you something about Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya, born in a noble family. He was a part of Magadha kingdom. He was a great warrior also. That time, Magadha was ruled by Dhanananda. He was so powerful. Kingdom itself was so rich. But this king was so greedy. He imposed a huge tax on his subjects. Subjects means people. His own people, he imposed huge tax. And this wise and just Chandragupta and the wise priest Kautilya wanted to talk to Dhanananda regarding this huge tax. But Dhanananda teased the priest as well as Chandragupta in the court, as well as he expelled these people from the country. They wandered here and there, and Kautilya was so wise. Somehow they managed to collect an army of brave men. At Chandragupta's luck, the province Takshila faced a biggest problem. The people of Takshila, they wanted to remove their general, because Takshila was under the control of Greek general. Alexander, he died in Babylon, and he had given the territory for his general. So these people wanted to eliminate the general from their country. So Chandragupta and his brave soldiers, they fought against this general, and they easily defeated this Greek army. People of Takshila became very happy, and they crowned Chandragupta as their king. Soon, Chandragupta developed his army with the help of this Chanakya or Kautilya. And soon they attacked Magadha, and he became the king of Magadha. Chandragupta was the wise, just king, I already told you. He worked for the entire kingdom, for the people. Under this Chandragupta, they were very happy and peaceful. Their life was so peaceful. And the prosperity of this Mauryan empire, or the Magadha, that spread all over the world. It reached Greek also. That time, the powerful Greek general was Seleucus Nicator. He wanted to get back this Takshila from Chandragupta Maurya. That is why he arranged a huge army and marched towards Takshila, where he met Takshila's border. He met this Chandragupta's force, and the first battle started. At everyone's surprise, Chandragupta won the battle. He defeated Seleucus Nicator and made a peace treaty with Seleucus Nicator. In that treaty, Chandragupta asked this Seleucus to give up all the territory up to Afghanistan. Apart that, he wanted to marry Seleucus Nicetas' daughter Helena. She was a Greek lady. Chandragupta was at the age of 40 that time, I think. So he wanted to marry this Helena. At first, Seleucus annoyed, but at last he also accepted that. Chandragupta married Helena. Soon Seleucus understood or realized Chandragupta is treating well his daughter. That is why he sent an ambassador from Greek to Magadha, Patliputra. That was the capital of Magadha that time. He sent an ambassador. His name was Megasthenes. Megasthenes wrote a book, Indica. Historians recollect the history from this book only. In that Indica, he described about Chandragupta Maurya's reign. He was a just and wise king. He described about Patliputra. It was a beautiful city, having a lot of 2 and 3 story buildings, lot of ponds, gardens, parks, all surrounded by wall. And he also described about the beautiful palace of Chandragupta Maurya with the walls and protected by female warriors, armed female warriors. Apart that, the historians recollect the history of Mauryan dynasty from Arthashastra. Arthashastra means economics, written by Kautilya or Chanakya. He described about the economy of the country, how to improve the economy, what was the roles of the king, etc. He was mentioning that. He also mentioned the activities of the king. Chandragupta built different type of dams as well as canals for the area where dry land means. Just he wanted to carry the water from this dam to the dry area for the crops. He built hospitals for the sick. He constructed the roads and connected with the important cities. He worked for the people of the country, the kingdom. He extended, I already told you, he extended his kingdom up to Afghanistan. At last, when he became old, he handed over his throne to his son Bindusara. अच्छा, बिंदुसारा का इसके बीच में कहानी बताता हूं. बिंदुसारा को बिंदुसारा नाम क्यों मिला है? इनका जो वाइफ है दुर्धारा, जो फर्स्ट वाइफ, जब चंद्रगुप्ता को जो डेली ना हमारा जो कौटिल्य, ही यूज्ड टू गिव सम पॉइजन. खाने में किसी को पता नहीं, थोड़ा थोड़ा पॉइजन देते थे, क्योंकि कौटिल्य स्केयर्ड अबाउट हिज लाइफ एंड थ्रेटनिंग ऑफ किंग है, राजा है, कोई कुछ करेगा, कोई क्या करेंगे, खाने में पॉइजन मिलाए तो क्या करेगा, सोच के हल्का सा पॉइजन यूज टू गिव. डेली इसका जो क्वांटिटी बढ़ाते बढ़ाते गया. अचानक वन डे दुर्धारा कंज्यूम्ड हिज फूड. चंद्रगुप्ता के लिए जो खाना रखा था वो दुर्धारा ने खा लिया. दैट टाइम दुर्धारा वाज 9 months प्रेग्नेंट. दुर्धारा इज गोइंग टू डाई. चाणक्य केम टू नो. कहता है हिस्ट्री, आई डोंट नो वेदर इट इज राइट और रॉन्ग, कहता है कि जो फर्स्ट सिसेरियन उसने अपना जो माँ मर रही थी तब उसका वूम से उसको बच्चों को निकाला, लेकिन बिकॉज ऑफ पॉइजन ओनली ही गॉट ए स्कार ऑन हिज फॉरहेड, एक बिंदु स्पॉट. दैट इज व्हाई हिज नेम कॉल्ड बिंदुसारा. इसका ऑथेंटिसिटी कितना है दैट आई डोंट नो, बीच में मैंने बता दिया. एनीवे, बिंदुसारा वाज आल्सो ए ग्रेट किंग. लेकिन मैंने आपको पहले बोल दिया कि आई यूज्ड टू कॉल दिस चंद्रगुप्ता मौर्य एज ए ग्रेट किंग. उसकी ग्रेटनेस सभी आपको बहुत कुछ बोला है, यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड हिज ग्रेटनेस. इससे ऊपर एक बड़ा सा ग्रेटनेस है उसका. When he hand over his throne to this Bindusara, and he was attracted towards this Jainism, teaching of Mahavira, and he used to meet this Jaina monks, and he also adopted this Jainism. He left his palace with the Jaina monks. He wandered here and there, and at last he settled in South India, where he met a Jaina monk. He predicted that Magadha people or Mauryans people are soon going to face an atrocity, sorrow and sufferings. He predicted. And this old king became totally disappointed. He can't bear this news that his own subjects is going to suffer. They have to face atrocity. And what happened, this king, that is why I call him as the great king. He started a dangerous ritual, fasting. Fasting लेकर के वो उसका डेथ भी हो गया. You have already learned about this Mahatma Gandhi. He also fasted to death, Pune Pact में. लेकिन उस मरा तो नहीं है. Ambedkar ने accept किया था. That you have learned in 10th class. Apart that, in the political science also, you must have learned about this Potti Sriramalu, Vishal Andhra movement. Andhra state के लिए Potti Sriramalu also started this fast under 56 days fast. वो उसमें तो उसका देहांत हो गया. ये कहानी पता है मेरे को, तो ये दोनों पता है. फिर एक बड़ा सा राजा अपने जनता के लिए फास्ट करके अपना मतलब जो देहांत हो गया. उन्होंने ये सोचा है, hoping that because of his fasting and praying, his subject will get less atrocities, they will face less sufferings and sorrows. आजकल का कौन सी लीडर, कौन सी राजा ऐसा सोचेगा? That is why here we can say that Chandragupta is the great person. राजा नहीं है, सन्यासी है. Then also he worked for his people. At last he died. And the great famine also occurs. The people of Magadha, they face atrocities and sufferings and sorrows. But the mighty Magadha regained its status afterwards. Isn't it? And after that, Bindusara, he also was a good leader, ruler. उन्होंने अपना territory को extend कर दिया. After Bindusara, his son Ashoka. Ashoka was a very smart young prince, but he was not so interested in this extending the territories and attacking other countries and etc. He was also like his grandfather. He also searched inner peace and happiness all. But he was also a scholar and a warrior etc. After Bindusara, he also managed his own country. He never tried to extend his boundaries and all. He protected his people and given each and everything to his people. He was also a good king. Once, I already told you that they never attacked their neighboring country, Orissa. Kalinga. Over years, Kalinga become more powerful and got a big army also. And they decided to attack this Magadha. And Ashoka learned about this or heard about the attack and all. He also tried to defend this attack. And when the ministers of this Ashoka heard about this defending the country and all, they become shocked. The ministers shocked and asked, "O King Ashoka, you are the son of the great Mauryan family. You are the great warrior, member of the great warrior family. O King, majestic King, your kingdom is the strongest and the biggest in the world. If the Kalingas and other neighboring kings find that you are on defensive, they will join together and attack from all the sides. Better is that we have to teach a bitter lesson to these people. We should attack these people before they attack on us. This is the only way to ensure that your people and your kingdom will be safe from the further attack." Ashoka knew that his ministers were correct. So he marched towards the border where Kalinga force waited for him. The first battle started. The battle was one of the biggest and bloodiest battle ever fought on Indian soil. Ashoka proved himself that though he loved peace, but he can be a fierce warrior. At last, He won the battle. When the battle was won, he stood in the battlefield with wounded and tired. Around him, he looked thousands of soldiers dead, lying in the grassy fields. He could hear the painful cry of the wounded soldiers. He could hear the cries of women, those who lost their husband as well as son. He could hear the cries of children, those who lost their father. Ashoka knelt down and wept, for he realized that he was the cause of all this pain, agony, and atrocity. From the day onwards, Ashoka vowed that the drums of the war shall never again be beaten in my kingdom. He embraced Buddhism. The war changed Ashoka's life totally. He gave up this hunting and became a vegetarian. He led a simple life and asked the people to do the same. He appointed special officials to spread Dhamma, which includes respect the elders, show generosity towards the Brahmins and the people, those who left worldly life. Show compassion towards slaves and servants. Respect the religion and tradition of others. He was the only first king who he inscribed these things on the rocks and the polished pillars. He sent the messages, permanent messages, to his subjects as well as his officials. And Ashoka's people, they learned the virtues of honesty, truthfulness, mercifulness, benevolence, compassion, and non-violence to man and animal, with little sin, a little sin and many good deeds. With this, I conclude my the topic. From this only, I hope you understood how Magadha was developed, what were the views of historians. Capital of Magadha, there were two capitals, right? And how historians reconstruct the history of Mauryan Empire, the Mauryan kings, Dhamma, what do you mean by Dhamma? Who were Dhamma Mahamata, Ashoka's policy, and Chanakya's policy, Megasthenes' account, each and everything you have already learned. I hope you understood. Next class we will begin with the next topic, that is Mauryan administration. Till then, bye. Thank you.